Wealth is a profile you design, not a lottery you win. The path from wherever you start to a future you control is not a map handed to you by luck. It is a blueprint you assemble in real time. Today, we unfold a one-block blueprint, an integrated wealth profile you can build under almost any circumstance. This is not a collection of wishful steps. It is a repeatable system shaped by 4 interlocking pillars and a 6-phase execution path that converts intention into scalable results. We begin by reframing wealth itself. Wealth is not merely money or status. It is a social shape you inhabit and an identity you become. It is a skill set you master, a set of routines you enact, and a network of opportunities you cultivate. When you see wealth in this way, the contradictions of scarcity soften. The person who seems to have abundance is not necessarily luckier. They have designed a profile that compels opportunity to unfold. The first step in this journey is to own that wealth is a discipline, a practice, and a social contract you enter with the world. It begins with your identity, evolves through your skills, expands through your access, and crystallizes through execution. With these 4 pillars in place, even the most modest starting point can become a launchpad for durable growth. Identity is the foundation you live inside, and who you believe yourself to be determines where you invest your time, attention, and risk. Identity is not a costume you try on for public consumption. It is the inner alignment that guides every decision. To begin cultivating a wealth identity, you must first declare who you intend to become, then start living like that version of yourself today. The micro actions for the next 7 days are simple, but potent. Audit your beliefs about money, test the edge cases where fear shows up, and practice behaviors that a wealth-oriented version of you would perform with ease. Start with a 1-paragraph mission for the next 90 days, the essence of your wealth identity in one place. Then create a short daily ritual to reinforce it, a morning reflection on what wealth means to you personally, a midday check on whether your actions align with that meaning, and an evening review that marks progress or recalibration. The measurement is practical and visible, a log of decisions that were aligned with the wealth identity, a tally of actions that contradicted it, and a weekly summary that shows the delta between intention and behavior. The payoff is not immediate applause, but a quiet accuracy. You stop improvising with money and start executing from a coherent self-image. Skills are the engine that turns identity into outcomes. No amount of ambition will sustain itself without concrete capabilities that translate intention into value. The 4 pillars of the wealth profile are not abstract nouns. They are actionable domains you can cultivate. The first pillar, identity, becomes the second pillar, skills, when you recognize that wealth creates leverage by expanding what you can do consistently, under pressure, at scale. The micro actions for the next 7 days focus on 2 levers: strategic learning and deliberate practice. Pick 2 high-value skills aligned with your current context, skills that compound and compound quickly, such as financial modeling, sales and negotiation, or product design and marketing systems. For 7 days, commit to 2 hours of practice in each skill with a clear feedback loop. Create a micro repository, a notebook or a digital document where you capture models, templates, and checklists you can reuse. Each day, record a single actionable insight and a single mistake you will avoid in the future. The measurement is not hours logged, but capability demonstrated, a portfolio of mini exercises completed, a set of templates refined, and a personal scorecard showing progress in the 2 chosen skills. The payoff comes when you can demonstrate a practical outcome, a simple financial model you can adapt to a real scenario, a sales script you can deploy with confidence, or a product prototype you can pitch in under 10 minutes. Access is the third pillar, and it redefines opportunity. Access is not the same as luck or inheritance. It is a set of channels you deliberately cultivate: capital channels, mentorship channels, information channels, and collaboration channels. Access expands when you systematically unlock doors others overlook. The 7-day micro actions for this pillar are practical. Map the people and groups where high leverage sits, identify the 2 most influential networks for your field, and design 2 outreach sequences that feel reciprocal rather than transactional. The measurement is a network map with at least 2 meaningful, ongoing conversations, a log of value you have offered to others before asking for anything in return, and a list of mentors or peers who light up your ability to act. The payoff is relational leverage. Access accelerates when your reputation is built on generosity and competence, not requests. Execution is the fourth pillar, and execution ties identity, skills, and access into a working machine. Execution is the discipline of turning plans into repeated action. The micro-actions for the next 7 days center on systematizing your daily delivery and creating guardrails that protect focus. Start with a 2-minute morning setup that orients you to the day and a 5 to 10-minute evening review that closes feedback loops. Create a simple pipeline: 1 project in the air, 1 project in progress, and 1 project that you can ship tomorrow. Track progress with a weekly review that compares results to your plan, identifies bottlenecks, and recalibrates the plan for the next week. The measurement is a performance log that shows cycle times, completion rates, and quality outcomes. The payoff is a momentum machine. Execution becomes predictable enough to scale, yet flexible enough to adapt to new information. The 6 FAs. Each journey maps a practical, repeatable itinerary from mindset realignment to scalable wealth accumulation. Phase 1 is mindset realignment, a deliberate reframing of what wealth is and what wealth requires. The exercise is to identify the beliefs that hold you back and replace them with evidence-based, revenue-generating beliefs. Phase 2 is mapping your wealth profile to the 4 pillars. This is where you concretize the identity you are cultivating, the skills you are developing, the access you are building, and the execution system you are installing. Phase 3 is the cultivation of micro-actions: 7-day experiments for identity, 7-day experiments for skills, 7-day experiments for access, and 7-day experiments for execution. Phase 4 is the validation stage, where you search for and celebrate the first wins that prove the framework works. Phase 5 is the construction of durable systems, where habit architecture, time management, money discipline, automation, and governance with mentors become the backbone of ongoing growth. Phase 6 is the guardrails stage, a rigorous audit of the traps that tempt wealth without wisdom and the guardrails that keep growth aligned with health, purpose, and values. If you are starting with zero capital, let the route begin with a radical commitment to learning and output. The experiments in this scenario are designed to be zero cost yet spectacularly high leverage. Start by building a personal catalog of value. Write a weekly essay or a set of micro-essays that demonstrate your thinking and your ability to produce. Use your writing as a funnel to attract mentors, collaboration partners, and practical opportunities. In this zero capital frame, you will run a sequence of experiments. First, a value narrative that clarifies your wealth identity. Second, a portfolio of skills in which you can demonstrate competence. Third, outreach to 3 communities where you can contribute real value. Fourth, a simple execution system that delivers a consistent weekly output. The 7-day actions become daily writing tasks, weekly outreach emails, and a small project you can showcase. The timeline unfolds with a bright line cut across the fear of starting, a week of output that earns attention, a month of learning that earns trust, and a quarter that yields meaningful momentum. If modest capital exists, the focus shifts toward building compound assets while keeping risk contained. You can begin with 2 parallel experiments: one that builds a small, replicable income stream through a service, a productized offering, or a micro-investment strategy, and another that expands your access network through targeted collaborations. The 7-day action set includes validating a small service with real clients, delivering a measurable result within a defined time window, and packaging the learning into a repeatable workflow. The route emphasizes testing, measuring, and iteration, a disciplined cycle that compresses time from idea to income. The timeline includes a 60-day pilot period during which you test multiple small experiments and converge on 1 or 2 scalable approaches, each with a repeatable process and a clear profit model. For those already earning from a business, the blueprint centers on systemic improvement and scalable expansion. Begin with a diagnostic of the existing pipeline, then map the 4 pillars to the current reality. The 7-day micro-actions include documenting a value proposition that resonates across customers, implementing a 2-step funnel that converts interest into action, and codifying a weekly review that surfaces bottlenecks before they become crises. The route emphasizes automation and governance, introduce simple dashboards, outsourcing pieces of execution that are programmable, and set up a mentorship cadence that ensures your team grows with you. The daily and weekly systems that sustain wealth creation are not heroic gestures. They are quiet, relentless routines. A robust habit architecture is built from 2 core routines that you perform every day. The first is a morning alignment ritual that anchors your intentions in practical commitments. The second is an evening reflection that closes the day with clarity and gratitude. Time management is the discipline of prioritizing high-leverage tasks, of protecting deep work, and of ensuring that personal energy aligns with professional demand. Money discipline is the practice of budgeting for growth rather than consumption, saving and investing with intention, and building a simple, scalable financial engine that compounds. Automation is the art of turning repetitive tasks into repeatable checks and interfaces that run while you sleep or while you focus on higher value work. Governance with mentors and accountability creates a feedback loop that keeps you honest, accelerates your learning curve, and reduces the risk that you derail your own progress. In this design, mentors and accountability partners are not optional accessories. They are essential accelerants that compress missteps into learning experiences. The myths and traps surrounding wealth deserve a careful, compassionate debunking. Hustling for hours with little leverage, chasing shiny objects, or ignoring risk management are the predictable paths to disappointment. Guardrails are not walls, they're guardrails, carefully placed to guide long-term health, alignment with values, and sustainable growth. Guardrails include a thoughtful approach to risk assessment, a quarterly review of health and well-being, and deliberate testing of new opportunities for alignment with your mission. The guardrails also demand a recognition that wealth is a social contract that benefits others when it benefits you. The ethical, durable vision emerges when wealth becomes something you contribute to others, harmonizing personal ambition with a long-term, value-oriented impact. The arc moves from self to system, from scarcity mindset to abundance of responsibility, from an eye on personal gain to a lens that seeks to uplift and endure. Narrative anchors are essential to the journey because they translate principles into lived examples. Archetypal case studies show how the same profile can emerge from life stories that could not look more different. A shy coder becomes a venture builder by embracing a disciplined identity and a practice of constant experimentation. A nurse with a talent for communication builds a coaching business that scales through automation and a small, but high-leverage audience. A single parent in a high-cost city creates a portfolio of side gigs that align with a deep sense of purpose and community contribution. The through line in all these stories is not luck or access or timing alone. It is profile design. The wealth profile is flexible enough to live inside multiple life circumstances, yet structured enough to deliver consistent results. Outcomes are not bound to circumstances. They're framed by the design you choose and the labor you commit to it. Ethics and durability anchor the final vision. Wealth is only valuable when it serves a larger horizon than personal gain. The sustainable course invites contribution, aligns with core values, and promotes growth that does not sacrifice health or relationships. A wealth profile that endures is one that can outlast one career, one market cycle, one trend. It is a profile that can be taught, replicated, and shared without compromising the health of the person who designed it. The ending posture is a crisp, practical commitment to live by, implement, iterate, improve, and train others to do the same. This is the ethical, durable vision, an ongoing loop of contribution, alignment, and sustainable growth. Against this backdrop, a final segment crystallizes, a crisp 30-day plan that translates philosophy into action. The 30-day plan compresses a month of focus into a steady cadence of daily micro-tasks, a weekly review rhythm, and a simple funnel to track experiments, outcomes, and iteration. Each day offers a small, high-leverage action you can perform without delay. Each week invites a reflective audit that reveals the hidden patterns behind progress, and each iteration sharpens the approach for the next cycle. The plan respects energy, not just time. It respects the truth that the most potent wealth strategies emerge when discipline blends with creativity, when systems marry purpose, and when accountability anchors ambition to impact. It is a plan designed not to overwhelm but to enable, not to dazzle with novelty, but to sustain with reliability. In closing on this block, the ultimate invitation is understated and precise. You can design a wealth profile from any starting point. It does not demand extraordinary privilege or extraordinary luck. It demands ordinary courage, courage to declare your identity, to commit to skillful practice, to cultivate meaningful access, and to execute with consistency. It demands patience, recognizing that the six-phase journey unfolds in stages, with each stage building the next. It demands disciplined habits, routines, metrics, reviews, all orchestrated to produce compounding effects over time. And it demands generosity, an orientation toward contribution that makes wealth a durable force in your life and in the lives of others. The one-block blueprint stands ready, a coherent framework for pillars that interlock, a six-phase journey that guides, practical routes that accommodate starting points, daily and weekly systems that sustain, and guardrails that protect health and values. Start now, build with intention, iterate with courage, and let wealth become not a lottery, but a deliberately chosen horizon you approach one disciplined day at a time.